to the Dr. Kwabiche Sports Complex here in Abrankese, where the atmosphere is absolutely buzzing for this Ghana Premier League Match Day 13 showdown. Today, it's Nations FC crossing blade with Heart of Lions FC in a contest that promises drama, skill, and the kind of football that keeps this league alive with passion. My name is Josiah Okukwe, and together with Victor Kweu, will be your commentators for today. Nations FC, they come into this fixture looking to protect this fortress here in Abrankese. There's a grounds where they've shown so much resilience, chemistry, and the hunger of a team with big ambitions since promotion to the top flight. And with a crowd definitely behind them, today's performance will keep them climbing at the table as the season edges towards its critical midpoint. They come up against an ever-determined Heart of Lions side, second on the league log, a side that may be very far away from home, but never short on fights. They've shown time again that it can upset any opponent on any turf, and they will be eyeing this clash as a perfect opportunity to snatch vital points and build momentum towards a historic title, something that has never happened in the history of the competition. And now the pleasantries will be exchanged before this big fixture here in Abrankese. Nations FC, they've been struggling all season, and under their current coach, they've won just once this season. It came against his former side, the Bearded Gold Stars, when Faisal Chawati bagged his first 2 goals of the season, and they'll be hoping that at least they can grab another win here to place them very well. And thus the setup for Nations FC, where Rabinos Sanon Osman will be in post, Boateng at left back. You have Simpson being partnered by Gripman. Now that double pivot of Botre and Bedu will definitely come to the fore if they will have any chance of winning. And the man who has scored 6 goals so far this season, Ano, will be leading the charge. On the bench is Richard Danso as well as Nathaniel Abe, and they'll be hoping to have their share of hostilities once it comes calling.
Well, definitely very, very exciting stuff from these two sides. Of course, you look at how these two coaches are coming to this particular game, and you watch how both of them have been very determined for Nations FC. No changes from the previous game. Coach Frimpong Manson has decided to maintain his previous starting lineup. That tells you he's looking for a bit of consistency in this nation side. Josiah.
Yeah, so that's Frimpong Manson, the head coach, and our officials for today will be Franklin Akumate. He is going to be the center man, and first assistant is Dansa Peter. Assistant 2 will be Badiana Al-Hassan Halilu, with the 4th official being Sojonu George Efa. And they will be the men to chair this huge game here at the Dr. Kwabiche Sports Complex. But then to the away side, this is how they set up. Lawrence Osei will be manning the post and hoping he grabs his 9th clean sheet this season in as many as 13 games. Ruben Enisi and Arban will maintain their place, while Zenim will be at left back. Yao Danso at right back. You have Freeman playing behind or in front of Samuel Kwanzaa.
Yes, for Bando Hearts of Lions, just one change from the previous game, and it tells you that the man who is their top scorer so far this season, Michael Epstein, has been taken off for a Taiji to come in, and tells you what this man on our screens, Coach Bashir Hayford, really wants to do in today's game. You know, ahead of this game, I spoke to him a bit, and he said, look, he is just interested in his players getting the goals. He doesn't care where the goal comes from, whether it is coming from his defensive setup or from the midfield. What he wants to see is goals, and I think that this season, they've been very wonderful in terms of finding the back of the net.
8 different scorers already for Heart of Lions, and it gives you an indication that whenever they want to get the goal, they might not just be looking at the front line, but then the goal could certainly come from anywhere. And that's Razak Simpson, the leader of this nation's team, really led with so much leadership qualities. He's led like a true leader for them. And last season, they came very close, Victor. They came very close to winning it until the final day defeat at the hands of Heart of Lions. The team they face here this afternoon, hoping that what happened, or the story that was recorded a couple of months ago on match day 34, wouldn't repeat itself here.
definitely that really dented their chances of winning last season's Ghana Premier League, finished on 57 points. I mean, quite exciting stuff, but this season they are just struggling to even make the point at the moment. 13 points at the moment. And interestingly, it looks like a fairy tale. They are having just 13 points as well. 13th position, 13 points. That is the story of Nations FC this season.
Such an unwanted story. Nations FC, since their promotion to the top flight in the 2023-24 season, they've really been a tough nut to crack, especially on this turf. Just losing 4 times since their promotion to the top flights here. A place where they call a fortress. And with the stakes high, the weather perfect, and the stage set, will Nations FC unleash something special in front of their home faithful, or will Heart of Lions roar their way to victory on match day 13?
We'll talk about this referee, such a top referee, and I understand what he can do in this game.
So we just wait for referee Franklin Akumate to get us going, and there he does. Blows the whistle for the commencement of this match day 13 fixture. Second game of match week 13 yesterday at the University of Ghana Stadium. The first game was played where 11 Wonders were on the losing side against Swedro All Blacks by 2-0. But then it's all to play for in this particular fixture. Now, 2 teams who actually went toe-to-toe for the title last season. But this season, it looks like Nations FC are really struggling to find some air, or breath of fresh air. But it's our first corner kick here, taken to the far post, but then headed out by Ruben Hennessy. Does well to find Ishmael Ado, but referee says that ball had crossed the line, and it's a throw-in.
Well, definitely, Josiah. I mean, for Bando Hearts of Lion, the men to really watch out the back could be the likes of Hennessy, Ebenezer Aban, Enim, and of course Dansu. These are quality players we need to be looking out for in this game. If Bando Hearts of Lions can nest any point from this game, you would have to look at their team sheet and look forward to these particular players. And the exciting stuff for Nations FC is that the last time they won on this very term, it was from a central defender, their skipper of the side, Razak Simpson, that gave them that needed victory somewhere in 2023.
So throw it to Nations FC. They've made an earlier incursion, resulted in a corner kick, but now they'll push forward again. And Nations FC will win another throw-in in an attacking position. You can see Mark Williams Boateng playing at right back today. He will be supported at the right-hand side of attack by Brandon Enchisapon, who gets the ball now. But then that was some clearance there from Enim Besmak.
Well, absolutely. You need to get the likes of Sapon. I mean, get it into the final third of Bando Hearts of Lion. If Nations FC want to make it count in this game, you need such players. You need the likes of Botchway, Beidou, who is another quality player, and a lot to be dependent on him, especially in the midfield, where he has to take the game by the scruff of the neck and ensure that he distributes the passes for his forward men to hatch onto.
Right, so it's Heart of Lions now in attack. Chauncey Freeman, who has drifted a bit wide to the left-hand side. Freeman back to Ado. Ado will find Ruben Hennessy. A long one, crossfield, trying to find the run of Besmak Ado. Yes, Enim does well, but then he's been beaten to that one by Mark Williams Boateng. And Chauncey Freeman will win the second ball again, and it's Heart of Lions in a dangerous area, across into the box. But then it's cleared infield, and danger isn't averted. A shot, but that's a feeble one, and that will go out for a goal kick to Nations FC.
Well, not the best of final touch, but again, it's an exciting play from Bando Hearts of Lion. Just look at that killer that was coming from the left-hand side of the foot of the Liberia International, Chauncey Freeman. And again, he was looking for his top man inside the box of Nations FC. Didn't get them, but that's a lovely strike from outside of the box. And again, Nations needs to be on the outlook.
Nations currently 13th on the league log. At this point last season, they had accumulated over 20 points, which tells you the drop in quality and performance this season, Nations FC, and that's one of the reasons why they brought in coach Stephen Frimpong Manson to turn things around. But it's really been a very difficult task so far since taking the job. Mark Williams now finds Brandon Aintree. Brandon Aintree with a long one, trying to locate his teammate there, but that ball a bit overhit. And the goalkeeper, Lawrence Osei, will gather. But then Heart of Lions now in possession. Danso does well. And the ball is lost again. Nations FC. It's getting cagey in the middle of the pitch now. A bit scruffy from both teams, but game yet to settle. Ano will have his first touch of the game. He's been dispossessed. Oh, lovely play by Enim to Arban. Arban will find Ishmaelado. Now to his goalkeeper.
Just I definitely know that at the back line, certainly it is one man Kpando Hearts of Lion will be looking out for anytime there are such spaces, and is the experienced skipper Ebenezer Arban.
All right, so ball into the box now. Cleared, but then half cleared, and referee says it's a free kick to Kpando Heart of Lions. Paul Ateje clipped there, very close to the edge of the box. This could be worrying times for Nations FC, a side that are yet to lose on the set this season. In 6 games, they've won 3 times, they've drawn 3 times. But then that was the incident there.
Again, that is quite, painful, isn't it? Just look at it. But it's a big chance there for Kpando Hearts of Lions, and it's a very, very advantageous position. And Nations, once again, would have to defend their line, but for Kpando Hearts of Lions, it's a big, big opportunity for them to see if they can take the lead.
So free kick to Kpando Heart of Lions in a very, very promising area, and Razak Simpson will try, and coordinate the defensive line of Nations FC, because they have a dangerous ball to deal with. Heart of Lions. There you have Enim right behind that ball. And then also Yao Danso. Would it be the out-swinging Yao Danso or the in-swinging cross from Enim? And then some heckling there, and referee Franklin Akumate will have a word with the 2 players being involved, but then the whistle goes, the cross, and it eludes everyone, and it's a goal kick for Nations FC.
That's a heavy kick, isn't it? They should have done better on that occasion, but again, take nothing away from this Kpando Hearts of Lion side. Just look at the delivery into the box again. Wall bent, looking for the far post, but again, fails to reach anybody in that Begandi shirt.
So it's still goalless here at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex, where Nations FC take on Kpando Heart of Lions, who certainly have got their eyes on the prize, a prize they've never won before. That's the Ghana Premier League title. Last season, they came very close. They finished second. And their last game of the season was a 2-0 win away here. And they'll be hoping that they could replicate that same performance that got them all 3 points here in a game where Kwanzaa, who is featuring, scored, and then also Sidof Asante was on the score sheet for them. Match the 34 fixture last season. That saw them finish second in the league. But there they go again. Ishmaelado, that pass wouldn't travel to its intended destination. And Arban should be careful now. But then lovely, and they're exuding so much confidence now. Kpando Heart of Lions, Ruben Hennessy will just move forward a bit. The long one over the top, trying to find the run of Paul Ateje, but Razak Simpson steps in brilliantly to avert that danger. And then ball quickly gone out for a throw-in to Nations FC.
Such a very calm figure at the back, Razak Simpson. You can see not very excited about how his colleagues are marshalling things at the back. They are putting pressure on themselves. The basic things, they are not doing it. They are inviting so much ball from Kpando Hearts of Lion, and they need to be very careful there.
All right, so it's Ano who gets onto that ball, checks onto the right, but then he has about 3 or 4 Heart of Lions players around him, and they'll deal with that danger. Danso does it brilliantly. DOGLI will go back again. It looks like Heart of Lions are enjoying possession now in the opening minutes of this game. They've been the aggressors so far. They've made some brilliant entries into the attacking third, but it still remains goalless here. Ebenezer Arban
This is what he's trying to do, is taking his time to scan the area and look out for the possible outlet. Once again, in terms of outlet, the right-hand side has been a very, very explorable outlet for them, if you ask me, Josiah.
All right, so that's AJ DOGLI, who clips his opponent then. Just look at that. AJ DOGLI left it a bit late on Isaac Boche. Boche today partnering Prince Bedu as a double pivot for Nations FC. But they have injury concerns. You talk about Nations FC because in this game, they've only paraded 2 centre-backs. That's 2 natural centre-backs. And they are the starters, Oko Gripman as well as Razak Simpson. And any injury at all to these 2 players could be very, very worrying for the head coach from Paul Manson, who's really complained about the lack of fitness of other centre-backs in the ranks for Nations FC. But Heart of Lions will break away. AJ DOGLI, neatly done. Skips past his marker, finds Inim, best mark. Inim will move to Chauncey, back to AJ DOGLI. And it's Heart of Lions now working their way gradually. And it's 10 minutes gone so far here at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex. Nations FC still drawing against Heart of Lions, but Hennessy with a very tricky ball, but it's Razak Simpson who stops him in his tracks, and quickly they will transition from defense to attack now. It's Nations now, but that step over not well executed.
Well, Josiah, certainly let's go back to the previous battle. Well, your take on from here, because it looks like Nations FC are trying to approach the final 10.
So that's a long ball from Prince Bedu. Quite a disappointing ball. That's never, ever beaten Lawrence Osei, out of the best shot stoppers this season in the Ghana Premier League. He's really made a name for himself as the most trusted pair of hands for Heart of Lions now. And look destined and so ambitious as they chase their first ever top light title. And for Heart of Lions, their last 5 away games, they are yet to pick up any victories at all. On match day 4, it was a goalless draw at the Barbara Sports Stadium against Kumasi Asante Kotoko. They also held Accra Hearts of Oak to a goalless stalemate a week later on match day 5. Then they lost on match day 6, so they had to play 3 consecutive away games on match day 4, 5, and 6. And the defeat came at the BBND Dance Park, where they lost in a game where many believe they played so well. And on match day 8, they drew 1-1 against All Blacks in Swedro. And then on match day 11, it was a 2-2, a pulsating game at the Nia J. Kraku Sports Stadium. So Lions currently winless in their last 5 away games, and they'll be hoping to break that jinx. But then it's Nations, the home side, that are on the ascendancy now. Emmanuel Ano will drop back to Mark Williams, Boateng back to Ano. Ano has 1 man to beat, but excellently done defensively by the captain, Ebenezer Arban. And that's a foul a bit late there on Gripman.
Well, certainly that's a wrong route from the experience. I mean, there were better outlet there. He could have decided to balloon the ball to the far left-hand side, but he decides to go straight, and quite disappointing from him. He could have done better on that occasion.
So Nations FC now, the last 2 minutes, certainly we've seen them having the best possession, but flag goes up. And that chance quickly just erased. Emmanuel Ano, you need to be very, very careful. Here's a cheeky customer, Emmanuel Ano. 6 goals so far this season for Nations.
Definitely a talisman, isn't it? And I tell you what, look, Nations FC will need to use Ano more in this particular game if they want to really get goals going this particular season already. Nations have scored 10 goals. He's contributed 6 of that, so it tells you how later he's been up front. It's a bit disappointing that last season's top scorer for them, which is Faisal Chaute, have just had 2 out of his 12 last season. And I think that Ano would need to be very, very consistent in terms of scoring, because in the last 268 minutes, he has failed to find the back of the net.
Interesting statistics. The Victor ball cheaply given away by Heart of Lions. Now it's a throw-in to Nations FC, quickly taken. But then again, just no space at all for Brandon Aichi. Just couldn't advance that ball, but it's Ishmael Ado now. The ball to find Yao Danso with a skill, but just couldn't go past his marker there. a bit cagey, quite scruffy. Both teams struggling to find grip there, but then the ball will ricochet off the head of Kojo Obing Jr. and Chelsea Freeman sleeping there will be dispossessed, and Nations FC will have a breather now.
Well, just our two scenarios in what have just happened in the last few seconds. Out the map of Nations FC board. If you're a Kpando Hearts of Lion fan watching that spectacle, you'll be very excited because it looks possible that they were going to get a goal. But if you're a Nation supporter, definitely it will be a lot of heart-wrenching moment for you. But again, it tells you the dominancy of Kpando Hearts of Lion in this game. They have been ruthless. They've been doing the right things. They just want to get onto the score sheet. And I think that Coach Basha Herford's side is really, really delivering the taxes he told them coming to the game.
It's Brandon H now on his bike, but he'll be stopped there. And good press there by Heart of Lions to win over possession. Lawrence Osei now has Ishmaelado in space. Now back to the captain of the side. Ebenezer Arban, back to Ishmaelado. And Heart of Lions will quickly want to make an entry into the third half. Ishmaelado back on the ball now. And no Nations FC player trying to close him down whatsoever. Still Ishmaelado trying to play that crossfield pass to his teammate, but it's stopped, and there's a long ball into space now. And Emmanuel Ador does well, shows so much determination now. It's dangerous, but then that ball will go straight to Ruben Hennessy, and that was or could have been a big chance for Nations FC.
Big chance for them again, and he's an experienced man who will always be at the center of it. Emmanuel Arno, but look at another chance.
And there's a chance for Freeman, hit it! And there is the opening goal for Kpando Heart of Lions here at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex. Just out of nothing. A second ago, they were defending, and Chauncey Freeman pounces on that loose ball to give the Kpando lads the lead here. Heart of Lions 1, Nations 0.
Exciting stuff, isn't it, from Kpando Hearts of Lions? Look at the build-up from Bismarck and he swept it in. Razak Sampson have a touch, not the best of that, forced to Chauncey Freeman, and just look at the quality of the hits there. And absolutely, Osman Rano cannot do anything about it, but again, it is disappointing defending from the home side, Nations FC, and this man have his third goal of the season.
Chauncey Freeman, the scorer for Kpando Heart of Lions, coming into this game, he scored twice, and this will be his third. And it looks like Nations FC would have to do it the hard way now. They would have to come down from a goal if they stand any chance of maintaining or keeping that unbeaten record. But a shot, and that took a wicked deflection, but fortunately for Heart of Lions, a skewed way off target, and it's now Nations FC. That's a heavy touch, a poor one in fact from Boche, but manages to keep it in. Sapon, but then that ball will roll out, and the referee says it's Ebenezer Arban now on the turf who seems to be in some pain. There's a corner. That's the final decision by the referee, Victor.
Absolutely. So, Kpando Hearts of Lions leading Nations by a goal to nil. But you know, that would have been such a lovely response if Nations FC has replied that particular goal by the Gary Caches of somebody. But look, it's been a game that is promising so much action here, and we are really seeing it.
Corner taken, heads go up. But then Heart of Lions will clear their lines quickly. Ball falls to Kwame Wache. Again, nothing productive. And it's Sapon now. Checks on to the left for the hit. And that will sail wide into the skies.
Not the best of it, isn't it? That is a bit disappointing kick from Brandon there. He could have done better, but again, the technique in terms of hitting that one, not the best. But Alban equally struggling to be on his feet. He's back on his feet, but again, I think Nations, from the chances they've created in the last 1 minute, they should have at least found one of them at the back of the net.
Yeah, chances falling to the home side, who are currently trailing here after 19 minutes. But it's Heart of Lions who could be worried about the fitness now of the skipper, Ebenezer Arban, who seems not to be fine in the last couple of minutes, but he's up. Now it's Nations FC. Brandon, again, another disappointing ball trying to find Faisal Chawate, who keeps drifting in a bit more central from the left-hand side, but Brandon seeing most of the balls for Nations FC in attack.
Absolutely, you know what Faisal Chawate loves to do? He loves to drift from the left-hand side and cut in, and you know, that makes him a bit unpredictable in terms of his movement. But
again, now it's Ano goes past 1-2, but the ball just not tidied up. It's Heart of Lions who now try to break away. Chauncey Freeman, the goal scorer. And referee just gives away a free kick. And just look at that, Chauncey Freeman and that battle there. Yeah, dragging McWilliams onto the turf. But again, Ano fluffing another glorious chance in the space of just a minute. And it could have been 1-1.
Absolutely. It's been nation showmanship in the last 5 minutes after they conceded. It looks like they have just popped out of their shell, and they're now doing everything to see if they can level matters before the halftime break and even see if they can jump into the lead. But again, the man leading their line, Emmanuel Arnold, will need to be a bit clinical up front where he gets most of the chances. I'm just praying that he'll be able to put one of these chances into the back of the net so that we have an open game.
Still 1-0 to Heart of Lions, the away side in this fixture. Emmanuel Arnold having a couple of chances, fall his way, but nothing clinical from the second top scorer in the division this season. He's got 6 goals. The Australian Atakumi by 1 goal. And that earlier incident.
Well, just look at it again. Show of strength there from Chauncey Freeman, but again, you know that the Liberia International has always got some strength there. Very experienced player who is the vice captain of the Liberian national team. In terms of international experience, he's seen it every time. Anytime he happens to be done in the jersey of his national team there, and it's not shocking that he comes into the Ghana Premier League with the same experience and tries to defend every ball that is in front of him. And I'm just loving it here in Abrankasi.
Interested. It's Nations FC now. Just on their bikes now. And a cut back into midfield. And the hit from a distance. But then off the foot of Emmanuel Arnold, who is struggling this afternoon against the centre-back pairing of Hennessy. And then also Arban. He will be delighted to increase his tally in this game. But a lovely flick. But then the ball again. Trying to find Brandon Sapon at the right-hand side as a 1v1 against Enim. And that ball ricochet off the foot of Enim. Again, a tussle. Back to McWilliams. Across into the box. But then not cleared. And the push by Faisal Chawate. And the free kick will be given to Heart of Lions. Respite for them.
Well, you look at what Nations FC are doing currently in this particular game. It looks like their main target man up front seems to be Emmanuel Arnold. And you watch it carefully. Just look at this one that was bent inside there. Drops to the ground, but there was nobody in a white shirt to, just tap it home. Again, falls to Heart of Lion. And it's a big hit inside. But I was just talking about the fact that Emmanuel Arnold, anytime he receives the ball, you can see traffic of the Ghana shirts all over him, and I'm thinking Coach Frimpong should be looking for another outlet, especially where Sapon is better. He needs to be spoken to that, look, you need to bury the chances that can't be away because the leading top scorer for them at the moment is being sandwiched in some traffic.
McWilliams Boateng with a long ball, trying to find a knot. And this time, referee awards a free kick to Nations FC in a promising area. That's for Shet Tagen there, and Ano Enenimi going toe-to-toe on that occasion. Exhibition of strength there. But it's Ano who wins the sympathy of the referee, and Heart of Lions will have their lines to clear now. Looking at the position of this free kick.
Absolutely. You'll be hoping to see what Nations are going to do in this game.
Butcher takes it. But then the last ball, or the last touch coming off, Ebenezer Arban appeals for a handball there by Nations FC. You can see the players protested, but that was a cross initially from Isaac Boche. And that was a ball. That should have been a goal kick.
Absolutely, I think came off somebody. But again, the referee, who is very closest to the action, feels that it is a corner kick. But some of this incident in the game cannot be taken out. But it's the Nation fans who feel that it should have gone their way.
It's now Nations FC with Kwame Boache left alone to do the defender now. Could play himself into trouble, but then manages and maneuvers his way out of that. Wins a free kick for Nations FC.
Absolutely. This now, just look at it again. Kojo Benjinia. I mean, very, very physical player, of course. He's got a muscles, he's got a physique, but it's a big chance for Nations.
So it's Nations FC under pressure, trying to defend the fortress. Since their promotion to the top flight 2 seasons ago, Nations FC have managed to lose just 4 games on this turf, and all these 4 defeats came last season in the 2024-25 season, where the first team ever to beat them here was Bekum Chelsea. It was a 1-0 defeat on match day 12. Then 7 weeks later, Young Apostles also keep more misery with a 2-1 defeat. And then on match day 20, it was a 1-0 defeat to Diana FC. And then the last defeat to date came on match day 34, where they lost to Heart of Lions by 2-0 on the final day.
But you care to know the last time Nations FC won on this particular turf? Let me just, the flash score says that 10th October 2023, and that goal was scored by Razak Simpson.
Yeah, and now it's Ano who's left alone to hold up play now, does that perfectly. Brings in Brandon. Ano will get in front of that. No, he doesn't. But still Nations FC, ball cleared. And Ishmaelado will gather for the visitors.
That's another promising move from Nations FC again. I've always told you they love to use their elite marksman, Ano, and I think that has been very, very fruitful up from. The only thing is that he has not been able to slide the ball at the back of the net. But if I'm coach Frimpong Manso, look, I'll be looking at my other channels where you have Faisal Charity and, of course, Sapon in this particular game. You need to talk to them. At least the big man himself has been in some serious traffic in this game by Bando Hearts of Lions defense, because they know that any ball that drops at his feet, he can make good use of it. And you can just say it happening in the last 26 minutes. It's been Ano, and it's just been fruitless.
26 minutes played here at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex in Brankese. And as Nations FC trailing on this match day 13 encounter to Heart of Lions. Goal scored by Chauncey Freeman, and the referee Franklin Akumate whistles for a cooling break. But tactically, Victor, what do they need to do now? Heart of Lions seems to have their tails up, and we've spoken about their ambitions to win the title this season, which is still very well on course. And a victory for them will see them occupy top spot heading into the games set to be played tomorrow. But you can see Daniel Nieje, the assistant head coach, also issuing some instructions, as well as the assistant of Nations FC.
I tell you what, the Bando Hearts of Lions deserve all the plaudits in terms of what they've done. A team that was on the verge of being relegated the last 2 seasons. Last season finished second with 60 points. This season already, in just 12 matches already, they have been able to amass 23 points already, and it tells you the ambition of the team. They are very difficult to break at the den, that is in Pando, but away, that is where the problem has been. And you see, if they really want to win the league, it means that they must start picking points away from their home ground, and I think that is the way to win the league, especially from experience and the teams that have won it. But look, in this particular game, take nothing away from them. I think they are doing the basic things, and it's Nation who must do a lot.
We are back to action here. And it's Nations FC now with Prince Bedu. Tries to find Emmanuel Ano. Just couldn't control that. Gives away possession cheaply to Heart of Lions, who bump forward now with Danso Obin Jr. there to support, but he finds DOGLI. DOGLI will move a bit narrow central to Kwanzaa.
Well, let me tell you the story of DOGLI. He's been very quiet so far in this game in the last 28 minutes, but this was a player that was discovered somewhere in Akosombo, played Akosombo FC, came to Banana in. Once again, a top talent, went outside for lots of trials, and, you know, a breakdown due to some agency staff. He's back here in the Ghana Premier League, and I tell you what, he has hit the road running. Man of the Match nomination in September, and it tells you the story of that young chap, 21-year-old.
That's DOGLI. A 3-shirted man for Heart of Lions. He's been a pivotal player for them this season in the league. DOGLI recently received a call-up to the local Black Stars camp as well. But then Ano will win possession. It's Brandon now. Ano makes the run. But Brandon will still hold on to that. Finds Isaac Boche. Razak Simpson to the left-hand side. Kwame Boache would go for a long one into the box, but then DOGLI will be there on time to deal with that ball. Nations FC have got a throw-in now. Taken quickly by Kwame Boache. Back to Bedu. Back to Boache. Finds Chawete. The cross into the box, but then parried away. And a smart save there by Lawrence Osei, who still has his sheets clean in this game.
Wonderful save there from Brandon Hearts of Lion, shot stopper. Just look at the way he managed to tip it off the Yoni net there. Tells you of his story. Just look at the movement here and look at the position of the players. Taking a back there, but again, the shot stopper at the right place, always to tip it off when it matters most.
Strongest right arm to just flap that one out of play for a Nations FC corner kick set to be taken. Take it into the box, the header, again, another good save by Lawrence Osei, who is bent on getting his 9th clean sheet in this game. It's early stages though, but he's really pulling some wonderful saves, Victor.
That is a masterclass, isn't it? And this is what we expect from your first choice goalkeeper. And you see, Lawrence Osei has been a bit consistent from last season. This season, he's beginning to show us that he is
the corner taken, Bedu with a cross, but then with his unfavorite right foot. Just couldn't hit that one with precision. Bodies in the box hoping to attack that. And the chap in your shots now, Faisal Chawete. What a quiet season he's having. Last season he was the first player to 10 goals. And it's 30 minutes down here at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex. Stellar Saturday, Ghana Premier League, match day 13. And as Nations FC, they continue to trail in this big fixture, but then there's Chauncey Freeman, ball into space, manages to get that one under control. And it's Mark Williams who guards him. Chauncey Freeman will switch play, finds Kwanzaa, dummies. Kwanzaa still in possession. DOGLI, but referee whistles for a free kick to Nations FC after Kwanzaa was adjudged to have used his arm illegally.
That's a life-wise, isn't it, for Nations FC? Big save there coming from the referee without whistle. But just look at the movement again from Kwanzaa. Lovely ball to stand on it. Push it to DOGLI, but again the referee, Franklin Akumate, always very close to it, and something was happening.
It's now Brandon Sapon, just racing down the right-hand side of attack for Nations FC. The cut back again, dummies again. The ball, could this be the equalizer bar? The flag goes up, and the celebrations will be cut short. Flag quickly gone up, and it was the referee, Dosapita, there.
Well, I told you, certainly this is the man who needs to be doing the business. Sapon, just look at it, how he was able to beat Bismarck in him there.
Was he offside?
Absolutely, a bit confusing there, but you look at it, but again, it would not just count, isn't it?
Prince Bedu won't have the chance to celebrate that goal, but it's Heart of Lions now who could punish Nations FC for that call. As B Junior tries to go for the spectacular. It's Paul Ateje trying to hit that one, with that lovely spectacular kick, but
certainly the former House of Oak man is such a danger, and certainly that's Ateje instead of not Obin Jr. But again, I'm just telling you, Nations FC, they are so very slow in recovering. Anytime they rush to the final third of Brandon Hearts of Lion, and that is where the problem seems to be, because you see, Bashir Forsyth have to drop the ball behind them, and that is where the trouble is, when you have Freeman and the likes running onto it.
Robin Hennessy threads one through, finds Yao Danso. Can he keep that one in play? No, he can't. A ball a bit overhead by the Heart of Lions centre-back. And Yao Danso will not be able to keep that one in play. But we speak about the consistency of Bashir Hayford's selection, and each and every time it looks like it's just a mundane routine for him. It's the same setup, and you can always praise his consistency, Victor, can't you?
Charlie, the answer is very simple. To facing the puzzle, has to be consistent as a coach, Josiah has been consistent as a coach?
I believe he has.
Absolutely. He's been at the helm of affairs in the last two seasons for them and tells you that he knows the strength and the weakness of all of these players. Reason why he decided to go with the best starting 11 every week in, week out.
So consistency always been key for Heart of Lions. That's a DOGLI, the corporate now, tripping Isaac Boche. But Nations FC will not be able to just advance that ball into the final third. And it's now a lovely ball to Poateje, but the flag again will go up to deny Heart of Lions what could have been the second goal for them. And just look at the run from Poateje. And another disappointing ball, flag going up there.
Tell you what, Nations FC defense have been their death trap, of course, in this particular game. It's been a lot of opening in the last 34 minutes. There is no communication at the back, but again, you expect the leader, Razak Simpson, to do a bit of communication there. But Ateje was trying to be the ninth player to score in this encounter, because after Chancellor Freeman scored, he became the 8th player to score in games involving Nations FC and Brandon Hearts of Lions. Interesting, isn't it?
Lovely skill by Brandon. Holds it, the ball over the bottom. Oh! And that is the equalizer for Nations FC. They didn't need their player to have the final touch. It was Heart of Lions doing all the work at both ends of the field. And this will go down as a disappointing own goal. And it's Ruben Hennessy who just heads into his own net to tie the game.
Oh, it's a dagger through his own heart, isn't it? Just look at that ball from Sapper once again, but this time around it stretches even Lawrence Osei, who couldn't get a hand to it as he drift towards his left-hand side. But I tell you what, Hennessy, for all the hard work in the last 35 minutes, it's not the valiant.
It's 1-1 here at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex. What a game we have on our hands. Ruben Hennessy just nodding home into his own net. Quite disappointed because you have Nations FC coming into this game having scored 10 goals, but this is the first time they benefit from an own goal this season in the top flight. Injury concerns already for coach Frimpong Manson, and that's Ruben Hennessy.
And interestingly, Josiah, this is also the first own goal in a game involving Nations FC and Hearts of Lions there.
So you look at it will be flashed now to Poateje for descent. He's complaining, overly complaining, and the referee, Franklin Akumate, having none of that. But a face, and that's the look on the face of the Heart of Lions Gaffer. What a career he's had in the top flight. But confirmation of that yellow card to Poateje, who was booked for decent.
And that makes it 14 yellow cards in this particular encounter for Brandon Hearts of Lions and Nations FC. It tells you that the cards really does not flow in games involving the two sides. But today, I mean, look, we've done 37 minutes and we are now seeing the first card. It tells you how tactical it's been.
The cross, the header, and that is just wide off the post. Kojo Obin Jr., this is his first real action in this game. The former Hearts of Oak player. Also hoping to get on the score sheet already this season, but that was a lovely cross again from Inim. It was this cross earlier in the game that caused havoc, that led to Chancellor Freeman's goal, and he's at it again. The Heart of Lions now will regroup and hope to move forward with their goalkeeper. Back to Ruben Hennessy, who's been on the score sheet, but this time against his own side, Hennessy, Poateje will just hop on that. He's been chased by Kwame Boache. Does well to keep it in play to Yao Danso. And that is a very, very disappointing ball from Yao. And we'll be asking what Heart of Lions are doing now. It looks like they are just sleeping and they keep losing all the 50-50 balls.
Yeah, they've been taken aback a bit shocked to consider that particular own goal. It has taken the venom out of their sting in terms of how they were trying to approach this game in the last 37 minutes. But you see, it happens in games. They need to find a way to motivate themselves and get back at it.
That ball was aimed at Chauncey Freeman. A good job done by Oko Gripman. And that's a long one again. Trying to find Faisal Chawete, who scored double figures last season for Nations FC. One of the players who actually played a pivotal role in their title charge until they were docked points after failing to complete a game at the Ampane AAK Sports Arena against Basake Holy Stars, and eventually missing out on the top 4 finish. But the shot goes through the wall. It's blocked. DOGLI now. At the end, DOGLI wrestled to the ground, but referee says play should continue. Brandon with a long one, trying to find Yawano. And it's Ebenezer Abad. And that will just sail wide of the post.
Ambitious hit from Yawano, isn't it? But again, you can understand him. Just look at the time the ball was served to him. He was just the only man in the white shirt up front, sandwiched between 3-4 began his shot. By the time his colleague had arrived and set too late, and he decides to go for the long hit. But I think that was always going to be rising with the technique he used to execute it.
Approaching 40 minutes at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex. Nations FC drawing 1-1 against Bando Heart of Lions. Had so much action here, but it's Mark Williams to Gripman. Gripman with a long one, trying to find the run of Emmanuel Ano, but that ball will be just collected by Lawrence Osei, who would not be leaving here with a clean sheet after conceding Van own goal scored by his own centre-back, Robin Hennessy, but it's now Heart of Lions. Yao Danso. Danso will cut in a bit, finds Kojo Abin Jr. The return ball a bit disappointing. It's now Kwame Boache. Again, and you ask why they keep resorting to the long balls, Victor, with Emmanuel Ano the target.
Well, it tells you that it's just one thing. The midfield is very crowded for Bando Hearts of Lion, because they are winning every battle in the middle, especially where Emmanuel Ishmael has been pitched this afternoon. You can see he do most of the distribution. Even DOGLI is not even getting it, and it just tells you that if you have a quality player in Ishmael Aldo, maybe the midfield draws will be very difficult. What can you do? Go for the flanks, and that is what Nation is trying to do.
All right, so a very, very scruffy ball there. But referee says that should be a goal kick to Nations, who will quickly take that one. They'll look to just attack, but the ball cleared again. Gripman to Boateng. Boateng will find Prince Bedu. And it's Boche now. Zach Simpson. Kwame Boache to Chawete, and it's Nations FC now moving the ball around. Not in a hurry to make an entry, but in the long one, and will be cleared. Ball to Chancellor Freeman, the goal scorer for Heart of Lions. DOGLI will find Kwanzaa. Ball over the top, and it's Freeman racing down now, and he's being policed by Simpson. Freeman checks onto the left. Can he get that? A lovely and excellent defense by the Black Stars player, Zach Simpson, who does so well to avert that danger.
That is terrific, isn't it? Terrific stuff from the skipper of the side, leading by example. Look, shows class there. Takes the time to just bring that ball out of the front of Chancellor Freeman, who on any day could have option for the target, but again, it's just a classical defending that stopped him in his stride.
It's Emmanuel Ano now. We'll check onto his right foot. He has 3 players just trying not to allow him hit that ball. It's Brandon Sapon. Brandon Sapon has a name to beat. Checks onto the right, but another disappointing ball into the box, which will be dealt with by Arban.
Very feeble hit, isn't it? Feeble hit into Lions' box there. He could have done better. Maybe the angle was very difficult for him to just hit it into the final third or into the 18-yard. But that was, look, there are lots of options available. He could have decided to cut back a bit and decide to start it all over again, but he decides to go for the shot, and it's not the best.
We are approaching 45 minutes here. Stellar Saturday in the Ghana Premier League. Second game of match day 13. And it's Nations FC. Still invisible at home this season. 3 wins, 3 draws here. And as it stands, they are drawing for the 4th time this season. And then there's still lots of time to play for. Here, it's Prince Bedu now. Finds Kwame Boache. To Chawete. Back to Bedu. Chawete will move to Suhini. And it's Boate now. The cross into the box, but then headed away by Aban. And a lit nudge there. And the right call by referee Franklin Akumati.
I think that Prince Bedu rushed on it too quickly. Just look at it from Bochwe. That was a lovely ball that was floated into the 18-yard. The experienced defender, Ebenezer Aban, always got his eyes fixed to it, headed it out. But I think that Nations could have done better with that opportunity if not for how Bedu rushed onto it.
So together with his centre-back pair, Robin Hennessy, they've kept 8 clean sheets. No clean sheet for them this season, though. So it's a long ball. We are just seconds away from the 45th minute mark. By any added on time, we could be heading into the halftime break anytime soon. A confirmation of 3 minutes.
Well, it tells you if it stays this way, it means that in the last game for Pando Hearts of Lions, a possible 18 point, they've just picked 5 on the road, and it's a bit disappointing, isn't it? But here's HALF.
There's HALF now, lovely ball. Just squeezed it into the box. It's Apartheid against the side net. Again, Heart of Lions moving forward, hoping to get the lead before the halftime whistle goes.
That is the mentality of a winning team, isn't it? You go down, but you must fight back. And you see what they are doing at the moment. A bit of switch between Ataije and you see he decides to use the left-hand side, but again, not the best of option. Such a difficult angle to execute that shot, and Nation staying in.
Suhini with a long one, trying to find the run of Faisal Chawete. He'll be bitten to it by Yao Danso. Now the tussle there. But a free kick will go the way of Nations FC, and that's Gripman. It's been decent. Oh, always the wingman to Razak Simpson in this setup. I used to play for Golden Kick. Last season they were in the TNFA Cup final and lost to Kumasi Asante Kotoko by 2-1. That's where he grabbed the attention of the top sides, but then he landed here.
Well, it tells you a quality pairing for Nations FC at the back, isn't it? Simpson himself, always a skipper, and a Gripman who
That's
came
a
from...
Gripman, formerly of Great Olympics. So his brother is Ate Gripman, who is currently playing for Samatics.
Absolutely, you understand.
Yeah.
Now, to pair those two players at the back tells you of the quality of this centre-back for Nations FC. But the issue is, yes, maybe Gripman, it's too early for him. He's just joined this nation setup. You need a bit of time to settle in, and I think that is what is having a huge toll on the nation's defense.
So that's Oko Gripman, the twin brother of Ate Gripman, who formerly played for Golden Kicks. A bit of physical play then. Obin Jr. gives away a free kick to Nations FC, who quickly take that. Brandon Sapon, the busiest player in the Nations FC setup this afternoon. Move to the left-hand side, fine. Kwame Boache to Suhini Sulemana. Drop that to Bedu. And it's Suhini now. Lovely ball into space. It's now, I know hits that one. And that was so wide again. And they keep knocking on the doors of Heart of Lions. It's just a matter of time for Nations FC.
Lovely shot from Ano, isn't it? But it was always going to drift. Look at it, maybe because of the direction of the hit as well. But again, not the best of hits there. And it was always bending away from the goalpost of Pando Lions.
So 45 minutes done and dusted here at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex. It's been an entertaining end-to-end stuff. Chauncey Freeman putting Heart of Lions ahead with a lovely low strike. But then minutes later, Ruben Hennessy heading into his own net to draw level for Nations FC, who are still unbeaten here this season. Match day 13 of the Ghana Premier League. And after halftime, it is Nations FC 1, Heart of Lions 1.